We have only 35 chambers. There is no 36.
I know that. But I want to create a new chamber.
And what would that be?
I think Shaolin techniques should be available to all. So then, that's my idea for a new chamber. To teach the martial arts to the people. Anybody.
Welcome back to another episode of My 3 Cents. We're about to make sense of something. This episode, I wanted to touch on a few things. As you can see, the episode is named, Where Are We? So I want to touch on where we are, how we got here, what is the perception, what's the issue. So let's just dive right into it. When I think about black people, I want to feel proud to be one. And I am, but for my own reasons. And I think it's very important for black people, quote unquote, right? Black people, to be proud of what they are for their own reasons. Don't be a part of a cult mind frame. Don't just say that's your culture. Because if you don't agree with everything that people look like you are doing, that is not your culture, right? Because cult in itself just means the hive mind state. We're all thinking the same thing together, okay? We're all in agreement. So don't be so quick to say black culture. Because guess what? Everything you claim for black culture is not what I claim for my version and understanding of black culture, right? So when I think of black, I think of Kemet, whatever you want to call it. We know that Chem or Cam, just like Camelot, wherever you see it, chemistry, chemical, right? Chem or Cam just means blackness, darkness, or melanin. So the place Kemet was actually the black land or the land of blackness. Okay, so it's important to understand what these things mean through etymology, through time, how they have shape-shifted and evolved into these other things. It's very important to know what things really are, right? So when I think of black people, I think about Kemet. I think about the ancestor energies. I feel it. I think about the stories. The Anunnaki, everything they talk about from back then. I think about it. I understand the knowledge of the story, the metaphysics behind it. I'm not lost in the stories. And that's why I urge people not to be a part of religions, but at the same time, do what you do. Don't make a decision based on me. Do your own research. Think about how you feel. Because a lot of times people are in something and they feel a certain way, but they stay in that thing. They don't exit that system. It's just like staying in a bad relationship. For some reason, some people just do it. They don't have hope. There's something they're missing within themselves. So let's start with Kemet when we talk about where are we, okay? So, we know that was a civilization that dealt with gold. I mean, all kind of precious metals, jewels. I mean, that word Egyptian is synonymous with two things in my mind, right? Royalty and slavery. Now, again, when I talk about slavery, I like to always say and reiterate that slavery existed a long time before America started talking about it, okay? And don't be so hooked into the black-white thing because it had to originally be people of whatever color they were, right? I'm not even going to start with that. But if we're talking about Kemet, then we're talking about black. We're talking about brown-skinned people. So you got to understand that there was always a people that didn't want to do something that somebody made them do. That's slavery. Okay? So think about a lot of y'all's work situations. And I'm not saying just quit your job, but I'm saying acknowledge what's going on. maybe you can find another route by thinking different. So, with Kemet, I think of a very rich place, rich soils. I mean, we know the diamonds are over there. We know the gold, the precious metals. We got the Dead Sea, where we have all the most precious, some of the oldest minerals in the world, right? This is what we come from. Now, a part of the illusion is that black people ain't shit. We criminals, blase blue, right? So a lot of the things I talk about are in present tense. When I refer to the black woman, I am talking about her in her present form. When I refer to the black man, I am talking about him in his present form. When I refer to the ancestors, I'm talking about all of us at our most glorious form. You gotta understand that the ones before you are in your bloodstream. Make peace with that to make peace with self. You gotta connect. So the illusion is that we're a people that can be easily controlled. We were taken over. We weren't that strong. I mean, there's all kind of bad connotations with us and other people. Very confrontational at the core of all stories that include black people or black civilizations. Think about how many times Egypt was robbed. Think about in history how many times people went there, pillaged, knocked the noses off the statues, pretty much anything they could find. One, to hide the knowledge of whose that stuff really was, the greatest stuff on earth, right? Two, to claim things that weren't theirs. And a lot of things were taken back to people's civilizations, preached on, believed in. The forms were manipulated into other forms that looked more like them. So there was a lot of stuff going on that stemmed with our stuff. Okay? So it's embarrassing to now say I'm a part of the black culture. You get what I'm saying? It's embarrassing because we're one people that complain so much about our position, but the ones in the highest positions polarized. You see, the polarizations, the ones polarized the most, you got to know where these words come from. Position. It's just polarization. The ones who have been polarized the hardest in one direction get paid the most. And we hate to be portrayed as the thing we're paid to play. I don't get it. Again, when I look at TV, when I listen to music, we're the only culture waiting to catch our own slipping. We want to kill each other. We're bragging about how dangerous we are to each other, not to the systems that we fight against. We're not dangerous to the systems because as a whole, we ain't reading no books. So there you go. I mean, all the information has been typed or written. You got to know that. If you're watching something, then it's a rendition. It's not even the original form. It's embarrassing when I look at TV and I see every good movie, the black people are always the criminals, the villains. I mean, the prisoners, it's just nuts. And then these guys are getting paid. And then these are the same guys that go out talking about Black Lives Matter when they get pulled over outside of the script. Now it's real, now it's a problem. But wait a minute. You see, because they say that Hollywood is art imitating life, but I feel like it has become art initiating life. Think about it. Because now, where there's a lack of parenting, there is an influx of outside sourcing for information by the youth because they have devices that can reach anywhere, real time, right? We didn't have that coming up. So it's different and it's more important to be with your kids and figure out what they're doing. Keep some type of relationship where they come and talk to you, man. You have to. So when I see a lot of this stuff, because I'm raising a daughter, as you already know, we often have to talk about tough things that they aren't tough for us to talk about, but they're tough to observe in the world if you don't know about it. So it's causing me to have a lot of conversations with her, what I would deem early. But again, this is 2021. Conversation with a 10-year-old is probably back in the day was conversation with a 15, 16-year-old. So we got to understand how things have evolved and changed. We can't resist change. Remember, things either evolve or devolve, but they do change. So if you resist change, then you are promoting devolution. This is also where they get the word devil from, because it is only supposed to represent the energy of not moving forward and damn near moving backwards. Okay? So you think about America, right, where we got all of our story from, because we are from here, physically, but genetically we are not. Okay? We are genetic dual citizens of every country. So, multi-citizen, right? So just to put it in perspective, right? In 1776, America, the bicentennial. Understand what that means. That means that in 1776, America was only 200 years old. Now, put this in perspective. How old is Kemet? How old is the knowledge that goes back? How many millions of years? In 1776, America was celebrating little old baby 200. Don't get all your information from a baby. Would you listen? If you had a real important decision to make right now, would you go and look for the wisest person you can find, or would you go look for a baby? I'm just saying, if there were options, why would you believe the baby? The baby doesn't have enough experience, and if the baby telling you they know something, the baby trying to manipulate you, because the baby knows it's a baby. So you got to understand that the position that we done been put in, the stuff that we're believing at this point, it's not real. Go back further. Gain your power. Go back as far as you need to go to get out of this little mind matrix they got us in this country. And then come back. Come back and handle your business after that. So I feel like what happened, how did we get to where we're at with black people? How did we get here? Violence, the killings, everything that we don't want to really look at, but we can't deny because it's actual factual truth. So let's just address what it is. How did we get here, though? In my opinion, because I like to study genetics, right? So in my opinion, it is the genetic garbage. It's the sins of the father that is not being generationally corrected. So it is mutating into what becomes worse and worse energy. And the other day or sometime earlier this month, I wrote down that in my opinion, that the blacks now were at a stage of ourselves where it was more like an implosion, right? And the way I was seeing it was that through some of the gifts and the powers and abilities that we were given before, that we do not take advantage of, have become volatile. You know, this is no different than keeping a dangerous chemical in a bottle too long. If you pay attention, the bottle starts to swell. If you don't burp that thing, it might explode. What I think happened here is that nobody burped the black man. He began to implode. He has not even exploded yet. That's what we need to be paying attention for and be trying to heal our genetics before the explosion happens. This is still the implosion because it's affecting our own communities the worst right now. This is the implosion still. It's leaking out, but it's not there yet. We still have time to generationally fix it. We still have time. That's why I always go for the black boys, because that's the route. I'm telling y'all, focus on the black boys. We have enough single women, single black moms that have daughters and boys, but that's the damn problem. The boy. The mom can easily make the daughter the model of her. Hopefully she takes care of herself. The boy is a different story, because if mom likes to date, he's gonna be fucked up. Because the argument is that, well, he needs a man in his life, but mom ain't stable enough to know a good one when she find it. So it's a lot of visitors over the years. This hurts the black man's mind. It changes his image of his mother. He grows up not holding anything against her openly. Neither him nor her will probably ever think of it again. But the damage has been done genetically. You see what I'm saying? So now the woman that he preys upon will probably be in the position that his mother was in as those men preyed upon her. It's a vicious cycle. There's a lot of poison relationships between single black moms and their boys. Because she's either trying to replace the man that didn't want to be there by causing him to be the little mini-me, taking him to the barbershop, getting the slick haircuts, got him a gold chain and, an iPhone, whatever, so that he can look like an adult amongst his peers, so that he can be looked up to in your mind, so that you can feel like something instead of feeling like nothing. You do it through your kid. A lot of people doing that. A lot of women are dressing their kid to be the man they want to have. So it's a lot of just weird relationships. And on top of that, we're sending the boys to school all day where, if you just look at the numbers, the majority is white women teachers, middle-aged, majority. There is no innate connection with a small black boy. There is no level ground to start on. It's a rocky road through and through. He becomes a problem in class because that's the only alternative. If you're not with the system, they deem you against the system. There is no damn in between. This child is just unique. What happened to that? School has to be run properly because it's a thing where they're ushering you through. We can only help ourselves as melanated people. You can't be helped by somebody that doesn't really understand your genetics. It's not their fault. They can try to help you, and it might, quote unquote, help you in these physical, earthly, commerce situations or things that have been set up this way. Cool, if you feel like it helps you. But I'm talking about the type of help that can heal our people as a whole. Change the actual scenario. What's the scenario? So, we in this baby country believe in the worst of everything behind us, when in our bloodstream is everything behind us, which will make you the worst that you believe in. And again, this is what I say about religion. This is what the devil and the Satan was. The Satan worshippers or the Satan worshippers, which came from soot, which soot just also means blackness, black, dark, melanin. What is left on your walls when the smoke clears from the fire? The soot. So people that understood the darkness, it was where everything could come from, right? It's no different than you closing your eyes and looking for that thought, right? You go into the void because that is where everything is, the blackness. You couldn't have light without it. All you light lovers who hate dark times, who can't embrace the downswing, who can't embrace the other side swing on the pendulum. Only loving the good times. So we gotta understand what this whole thing is about. You overly affected by some stuff you believe in. Believe something different. What's your scenario? You're allowed to use your imagination. It's not against the law yet. Yet. Because you can only have unity when everybody's thinking the same. Why are you fighting for unity? Connect with yourself first. Life is about survival. This whole thing is conflict. I was talking to a buddy of mine yesterday. We went and played ball. He says, not everyone has trauma. I says, of course everyone is traumatized. If you don't think you're traumatized, then something's wrong with you. That proves you're traumatized. Birth is trauma. Is it not? Does not the baby come out crying? Do you think the baby was crying in the belly? We start off in trauma. This is symbolic. It's symbolic to the whole thing. So this brings me to now, and I'm thinking about the news, and we're talking about minimum wage and all kind of arguments and things that are taking place where they keep referring to the black community as the catalyst for the argument. Nobody black is saying anything. Black Lives Matter doesn't have an intelligent conversation anywhere. I just keep hearing that we matter and things gotta change. What's the solution? Defund the police. No, try again. That's weird. Because who's gonna take advantage of that quicker than anybody? Black people. You don't wanna admit that? What's wrong with you? All right, leave your doors unlocked then. Go to certain neighborhoods wearing whatever color you want to then. This is what I'm trying to show you. They're using us, and we're using each other because they're using us, and we feel desperate to use somebody. A lot of us are using ourselves, barely holding on. Minimum wage is weird to me because it's always throughout history been a thing that's brought down black people and minority quote-unquote people. It's always caused us to lose our jobs, always caused our communities to suffer. All you got to do is read, do the math. There's a lot of things that back up the truth. When something's true, it can show up in any form and still be true. It's just like a math problem. First you divide, how do you check your division? By multiplying. When you add, how do you check your addition? By subtracting. Think about it. None of this stuff can stand alone and say, hey, this is what it is. They're lying. Whoever's telling you that has an agenda. So along with the minimum wage, the Democratic agenda preys on the black people's ignorance of history and their story, right? Because he's telling you his story, your story, which is my story, if I was you, would be the mystery, which should be to them, but yours is a mystery to you. We're fighting for minimum wage. You know, to me, minimum wage is a minimum way of thinking. Why would you argue about something that has the word minimum in it? Just think about that for a second. Why wouldn't you be out using that energy for maximum wage? But you see one or two black representatives on TV talking about how it will help the black community, how it will get people out of poverty. Well, guess what? It's going to keep you in poverty because it will always be the minimum. If the minimum wage goes up, don't you think that everything else went up as well? Or do you think that that goes up for extremely poor people and nothing else moves so you can catch up? Is that what you believe? Man. You see, with minimum wage, a lot of people that just got out of minimum wage worked hard, started getting raises, got their third promotion, is now in a real funny place. Because Joe that came in getting minimum wage is making more than me now. 75 cents more than me. What? How'd this happen? So the ones of us that thought we got ahead just got pushed under the new minimum. Do you not see what's happening? This is Reaganomics at its finest. Look it up. So, you fighting for the minimum. They're always maximum. Where you gonna go? Where you gonna go from here? They're talking about reparations. They're giving reparations in Chicago already. The city apparently has been giving reparations to its people. $25,000 per family that they gave it to in Chicago. Killing ass Chicago. Now, what's the agenda behind that? And why are they calling it the reparations that the government is not a part of, but only the state? Why does it have the name reparations if everyone is not getting it? Because if we call it reparations, give it to people that are in the worst conditions, we'll show the world what they did with their money. Now they're hoping that this fights the argument for reparation by showing this is all they're going to do with it. They don't need it. When all the stimulus checks came in, I immediately started telling people to buy Nike, buy Walmart, buy Visa, buy Target, buy Amazon, buy all those stocks because people are going to go rushing to spend their money. All those stocks went up. You can check. People made money on people spending money. We talk about the stock market, and I'm trying to always tell melanated people that you are the key to the stock market. They watch what we do. The trend has to be from the masses to make the needle move, right? Doesn't it have to be most of the people doing something? So when you talk about most of the people, then you can say the average. So you're talking about average people. So the money is made based upon how average people move. I don't think y'all get what I'm saying. You average while you're thinking you're not. To them you are. Go ahead and have your platform. That's why I tell y'all, quick, I'm not your entertainment. I'm not your entertainer. I'm not here to make money. You will be smart if you invested in me. You'd be smart because it's all just energy. You see, money, energy, everything is energy. Money is just the physical form where energy, you can imagine that energy has become so strong that it takes form, right? And we'll say, okay, that's the money symbol. That's money. It's in our hands. We have it now. They're all the same size. The only difference is there's going to be different number symbols on them. That gives them different value. Now, to even believe that, you got to understand the whole thing is imaginable and imagination. It's an agreed upon illusion. Delusion. Matter of fact, you feeling around in your pocket and you like, damn, I got some money. Are these ones, fives, tens, or 20s, or 100s? I don't know. I gotta pull this out to know, because that's the trick. That's a part of the magic. And when you believe in somebody, you give them energy. You want to show them you really believe in them, you give them money. It is the highest form of earth energy that equates to a type of symbolic value. It can't be mistaken for anything other than some type of symbolic value. That's what makes it strong and magic. Money changes people's lives. It's magical, right? When you don't have it, just watch what happens. Your whole quality of life actually goes down. Why does this one thing have that much power? It's the symbols. It's the symbolic energy of it. It's strong. It's very strong. It's so strong that some people want to hold on to it and have it doing absolutely nothing. When you can invest it, that is an extension of your energy. That sends your energy beyond where you can physically be at one time. That puts you in multiple places with different projects. It's very smart. So we got to understand how to invest in each other, invest in ourselves first, because can't nobody invest in you if you haven't invested in yourself and your own situation. I mean, that's number one. So a lot of where we are now is a weird place to be. And like I said, we're arguing things like the minimum wage because we're falling for these tricks, these economic tricks. We're not investing in the market because nobody's educating us young. I educate my daughter young. She does own stock. I've said it before. She had McDonald's. Now she owns 10 shares of Nintendo. It might be 30 shares of Nintendo by now. Because she plays Nintendo. I mean, if she knows that they're coming out with games, they're doing things that's hot, I mean, why wouldn't you invest the money in that? At least invest in what you like spending. If you like spending at Walmart, then invest in Walmart. It's very simple. So, a lot of black people now feel like they're in a bad place in the world. And so now, let's go all the way back to when we were talking about how old Kemet is and how new America is as the baby and how now blacks feel like they're in a bad place. Hey man, I'm gonna tell you something. You're right where you're supposed to be. How about stop complaining about it and get the lesson? That's the point. That is the point. Missing the lesson would be the biggest disrespect to life. It would be missing the lesson. That's it. Black people, you're supposed to be in the positions you're in right now. You might say, how could he say that with this going on and with that going on? That's your problem. You're paying attention to the goings on instead of the energy and why. You're the same type of people that don't invest in the stock market and wouldn't be good at it anyway. Because you wouldn't be able to look at trends and understand trends, understand patterns, understand how the past can easily show you tomorrow. So now we're in this place where we're making decisions from a bad place. And that's why it just don't seem to be working right now. You already feel like you're in a bad place, but here you go, making decisions from a bad place. You have to change your mind. You have to change your mind. That actually does change the energy of your surroundings. So instead of you being so affected by your environment, you could actually turn the tables and infect and affect and effect your environment and everybody in it. You got to shine from the inside out, man. We were kings millions of years ago. And forget about royalty, forget about kingship, forget about the gold, forget about everything. And let's just talk about time. We've been doing this. Why would you be at a point now where you feel weakened and complaining and you're yelling out that you matter? Who the hell are you talking to? If you're not in the mirror yelling that to yourself right now. Don't nobody in the damn street need to hear that shit. Go home. What? Put that energy on something that shows me. We're visual now. This is the age of information. Enlighten me. I give you every opportunity. So it's just appalling. Because we're getting beat down from every angle. We feel like we're in a bad place. We believe we're in a bad place. You see what I said? We feel and we believe. Therefore, we are. If you change how you feel and how you believe, then you won't be. Just try it. Stop thinking you know everything. And another thing about that minimum wage that I find really odd is that we'll quickly argue about who should get paid more, but we don't bring up the economy in the same breath. We don't bring up the cost of the economy. More wage, more economy. More wage. See, some of y'all might have thought that meant a positive thing, what I just said. Nah. More wage, more economic stronghold. Come on, people. I know the ones my age used to listen to Biggie, Diddy, all the little 90s rap. More money, more problems was real. That one has always been true. Tell me I'm wrong. So change your way of thinking, people. Stop making decisions from a bad place. And then before that, stop putting yourself in a bad place. Remember, you're only either evolving or devolving. Don't be the devil in your own existence. Kemet ruled for thousands and thousands and hundreds of thousands and maybe millions of years. And you're accepting the reality that you find yourself in now without acknowledging the ancestors in your bloodline, all their accomplishments, all their shortcomings that you're having to correct now. Now is the time. It is supposed to be like this for black people because black people are actually strong enough. Yeah, now you're getting it. Black people are actually strong enough to correct what has gone astray. You're not supposed to be out there complaining about it, drowning in it, sulking in it, turning on your own people for a sense of power, for a sense of control, controlling your woman. Woman want to be so strong and control a man. She got penis envy. Everybody's mixed up, wearing each other's hats. Don't even know what gender we are anymore, guys. What's going on? It didn't used to be like this. A lot of it's based on fear. Fear. You can't move forward because you're scared. And you're scared to be scared. So you stay where you're at. You're petrified. You won't move. You're froze with fear. You ever had that feeling in a dream where you have this dream and something walks up on you and you cannot move? That is literally the life that people are living now. Yet they have the strength to complain. When I was on the market with my daughter the other day, I said to my daughter, "Do you see any white man hands slapping my hands away from this keyboard?" And then we just started laughing because, she gets the joke. We're making money right now. Nobody's stopping me. Nobody stopped me from educating myself, picking up the newspaper years and years and years ago, reading the definitions of the stock terms, saying, wow, I didn't know it was this easy. Now that we're back at it, I'm educating a lot of people that look like me, a lot of my people, brown people. And look, white people too. I'm not against anybody. I just like to point out the genetic differences so we stop living in a lie. Let's stop living in an illusion saying we don't see color and stupid stuff like that. That's weird. You're lying to me. That's racist. So, stop living in fear. And when people tell you that, they're telling you that because fear is something that you're supposed to live through, not in, right? And I think about fear, I say go through it. You're supposed to, I promote fear because if you can't handle being scared, then there is the problem. What is that thing that you're scared of? That's the thing you need to be trying to make good with. Balance, right? So fear is just really an energy born from imbalance. And I feel like it's something you have to go through. And that's why people say I'm going through it, and things like that, right? Listen very close to what is being said because I don't give a damn what knowledge you have. Your ancestor genetic knowledge is going to come through you at some point. It's going to speak through you. It's going to say things. It's going to give you thoughts. It ain't all you. Sometimes you surprise yourself. Admit it. Okay? We say we're going through it. And we say, well, what is it? Now, I want you to start thinking about them scary movies like It with the clown. I'm going to give you that connection real quick. It can be anything. That was also designed off the same place where you got God, G-O-D, the Godhead, the Joker. That's why It is a clown and a Joker is a clown. It both came from the same place. It is the knowledge of the Joker. I explained this before. The knowledge of the Joker is this. It's linked to personas and the mask that we wear. It's linked to these personalities. Personae, personas. You see? So in this life, what happens is you got to get real scared so you can go through it. Because you are it. And this is also why we play tag. You got to understand what this stuff is made from. What does tag mean? T-A-G, touch and go. What do people say when somebody is almost dead and about to leave the body of their existence? They are touch and go. Nigga, they playing tag. And this also means you're it. So the correlation that I'm trying to make for you is this. Take off your mask. Realize that the Joker is wild. And this is why in your deck of cards you have that Joker, that's big Joker, little Joker, big God, little God. Can be anything, it can be in any form, wearing any mask at any time. This is the knowledge of the Joker. This is it. Right? And again, this is why I told you that a lot of the Chinese culture, in their culture, they bow because it is literally the symbol of saying the God in me recognizes the God in you playing the part that it is playing as you. That is what that means. They don't have to know you to bow to you. That's why they do that. Because you're it. We're all it. So with that, I say, stop being scared. Go through it. Fear is supposed to exist. It's necessary. If you weren't scared, you'd be stupid. But you have to realize the thing that you're scared of is you. Tame the monster, become the beast, control the beast. And the meek shall inherit the earth, right? If you don't get it, look it up. Yo, thanks for coming back for another episode of My 3 Cents. I hope you got a little something off of that. And as you guys know, I don't pre-write out my episodes. These are freestyled episodes. I think of a topic. When I'm feeling good, I hit record. right? And I just go in. So if I make a mistake, say a word wrong, anything like that, I could care less, and I'm not gonna apologize for it. This is real life, baby. One taken. Wholeness, wholeness, and a whole batch of gratitude. Look for my emails in the description. Send me a line. Say what's up. Tell me you hate me. Tell me you love me. Tell me something. This has been my 3 cents, and I'll see you next time. Gone.